Hey, Paul, thanks for joining us here today.
Well, thank you, Dave.
Okay.
Glad to be here.
So, why don't you just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, where
Sure.
you're from, the branch you chose, and why did you choose the military?
Sure. My name's Paul Kimble. I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. Joined the military, U.S. Army, back in 1992. It was a good choice. It was right. I was in college and wanted to kind of find my own way a little bit. So went into the recruiter's office, and got that promise of here's what you can do with your job.
Travel the world.
I was looking for a 2-year, just a 2-year contract for that, and ended up being an 88 Mike, which is mobile transport operator, truck driver. 2 years out, get my college money and go back. Thing is, I really enjoyed it, so I ended up staying in 8 years active duty, and then getting out back in the year 2000. When I got out, I opened up a outdoor sporting goods store right outside of Fort Campbell, Kentucky, which is going really well. And probably about a year into it, 911 hit.
Yeah.
So you had that mass deployment, which you see quite often with businesses, and it was a fishing store, so we were like a bobber,
Oh, that's right.
up and down, just up and down, waiting for the guys to get home. But ended up working with DME equipment, medical equipment in the field. So,
Cool.
yeah,
Why'd you choose the Army over the other branch?
2 years, man.
Oh,
2
that-
years
that
and
was
first
like-
recruiter
everyone
available,
had
I
some-
guess.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So all the other ones had a first initial longer.
I wasn't real smart, No, I enjoyed it.
All right. So while you were active, did you have any deployments? Or?
So that was the biggest thing, eye-opening experience. I joined when I was 19 years old, and my first duty assignment, I was stationed up in Fort Drum, New York, 10th Mountain Division.
Northern New York.
Oh yeah, a Kentucky boy, New York wasn't gonna fit,
A lot of snow up there.
A lot of snow, but it didn't matter. It didn't last long. As soon as I landed at Fort Drum, I immediately deployed over to Somalia.
Oh, okay.
So, young 19-year-old, that's a third world country. It's always a great experience when you get back, if everything goes okay on the mission. But when I got back home, you really learn to appreciate the ground that you walk on and everything that you have here in this country. Because most people, especially younger kids now, they don't understand. They don't understand what it means to have the basics in life. You're running water, air conditioning, roof over your head, and even just food in the fridge.
Well,
So
most of them grew up with the internet. We grew up at the birth of it. So.
yeah, we did. We were the test dummies of the
We were
internet.
test dummies for everything. So the question I have is when they say the two people that you'll always remember is your recruiter and your first sergeant or the drill instructor. Is there anybody like
Oh, yeah.
that in your life that sticks to you from day
Yeah.
one that you'll just always remember?
There's quite a few of them. I had a very unique experience in the military. From what the recruiter told me that you could do is
Right.
exactly what I did.
Absolutely.
So I did exactly what the recruiter said is possible. So very unique situation. I went in and I started working directly. I was online for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then I started working for sergeant majors and commanders and things like that. Ended up last duty station. I was at Fort Campbell, 101st Airborne, working for the division command sergeant major as his aide, driver, security. And I did that for pretty much the last 3 years.
So you were privy to a lot of conversations. as
I
you
got
sat.
to see a completely different side of the military, and it was absolutely amazing because they brought me in like family. And we're talking, Sergeant Major was in for 30 years, active duty, and one of the most inspirational people I've ever met in my life. So there was two of them. It was Sergeant Major Larry P. Rodriguez and Sergeant Major Jerry Counts. But literally, they were family to me, and still are.
See, that's what we call accidental mentors. You don't seek them out; they just wind up being that person.
I was the kid.
Yeah, awesome. So when it was getting that time, that inevitable time for all of us, where your ETS is coming up, and some people decide to take another bump for another 2 or 4, and some say, no, I can't wait to get out and be a civilian again. What was that situation like for you, that transition?
Well, the first one was coming back from Somalia, and then took a tour in Haiti, a couple tours in Haiti with 10th Mountain, and the sergeant major called me out on it. And so, I ended up re-upping there, and that continued that trend until the 8-year mark. But as far as the ETS goes, I wanted to do something different. Family, we had one young one, my youngest son. So my wife and I have been married 30 years now.
When did you get married? While you were in the service?
Yeah, I got married in the service. That's actually a really good story.
Yeah.
Get on that? All
Get on
right.
with it.
So, I was stationed up Fort Drum, New York.
Yeah.
Got back from Somalia, brand new truck. First new vehicle I've ever had in my life.
What was it?
Chevy
There
S10,
you go.
4-wheel drive, man.
Knock out the Chevy.
It's the only, yeah. So I had a good buddy of mine lived back in Illinois, and he was going home to, he was going to go home and see his family. He had to get there. It was like $1,100, $1,200 for the ticket. That's expensive, especially even back then. So it was a 4-day weekend, and he said, we could drive down there. We'd take your truck. He said, I'll pay for everything. I'll just take the $1,200 and we'll go. I said, man, this is perfect. Good opportunity to go have a good time with your buddy, So went down to Little Country Western bar and danced with this young lady. Had a great time. Got to know her a little bit that night. Next day we got called back in. So we got recalled back to go to Haiti. So we had to jump in the truck and leave. So exchanged information. But again, we didn't have the internet back then like they do now. So contact, cell phones and stuff like that were...
Became a pen pal, huh?
Yeah, we did. We became a pen pal. So over in Haiti, she would write me pretty much every couple days, get care packages, and she sent the right stuff. I mean, she had beef jerky there, beef jerky, hunting, fishing magazines, a couple cans of Copenhagen.
You share with some of your guys?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
A little bit, and then she had she'd put in a few photos with her sitting, in a bale of hay or something like that, just the old country girl look.
Good girl.
It's pretty amazing. I ended up going back when I was over in Haiti. Like I said, I came back, and then we linked up down there, and it was back and forth for a while. But ended up moving her up to Fort Drum.
Nice.
So got married a year later, and here we are 30 years from there.
30 years, huh?
Yeah, 30 years.
Nice. You're young too, so you definitely have a 50 in your future there.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So when you left the military, first and foremost, was there? What do you think that we don't really think about till after hindsight being 2020? But what is it that you got from the military that you realize you wouldn't have had if you did not go? Meaning, resilience, a personal character trait,
Sure.
or even some of the benefits. Like I know a lot of people just utilize GI Bills and ask yourself from there, what is it that you took from the military that you realize was part of you from that point on?
Sure. I think just the biggest thing is the appreciation of what you have and the pride. I mean, I've always been very patriotic anyway, and it just made you recognize things a little bit more that you don't normally think of every day. And like I was saying earlier, it's those little things in life, and it's the reasons why a lot of people join the military. It's not just for a paycheck. It's patriotism. It's the want and the drive to be a part of a service organization that's giving back. Something. Oh yeah, much bigger. But I think it gave me a lot of want, drive, the Army values, honesty, integrity, respect, dignity. I think that part of it changed my life in a great way. Not that I didn't have that at home, because mom and dad were amazing, Dad taught me something that he gave me my biggest asset and my greatest weakness at the same time, which is work ethic.
There you go. There you go.
You work too hard, you work too much. But without that, I wouldn't be, where I'm at today. So, but a mixture between values from my parents and values from my service have kind of led me in the direction I've gone today.
It's very important that you were blessed to have both your parents too throughout the whole transition.
Yeah.
Still happen to be around them.
Oh yes. Yep.
Good, I am blessed for that. So, what did you wind up doing when you leave the military? So, did you get out while you were still Fort Drum? That was your last spot?
No, I was at ATS'd at Campbell. I did a little bit in the reserves. It wasn't for me whatsoever. I couldn't adapt to it. Working for the division sergeant major, your standards were set pretty high, uniform codes and things like that. When I got in the reserves, it just wasn't happening.
Right.
I mean, I was supposed to take over a staff sergeant position down there, and had a very large, staff sergeant that, what I mean. I couldn't deal with
know
it.
what you mean right now.
I was always walking around going, fix your uniform, doing this.
Yeah,
I felt like I was still back up at the sergeant major's office at Campbell there. So, did the reserves a little bit, but ran that fishing store for a while, and then 911 hit and got into the medical equipment business. So I was balancing the job. I was selling bait in the morning at 5:30 and leaving at noon to go deliver oxygen. My grandmother was in a nursing home for quite some time when I was young, and I always remember those days where I'd walk in and all the little old ladies would just smile and they'd pinch your cheeks, and you would change their day and have a positive effect. So that was a lasting memory that I got back instantaneously when I started working in that medical field.
Nice.
But I worked my way up through that. I started working with. I've always worked with veterans. So even at the outdoor sporting goods store, we were making actually custom making Springfield pistols.
Nice.
So we would have all the unit crests and things like that. We'd work it out through Springfield. We'd do a series of 101 pistols, for the aviation group and for the 5th group and for whoever. But we'd make those, but we always stayed in touch. Those were 80% of our customers was military. So we always stayed in touch there, even into the medical market. I started working with veterans at home. A lot of our spinal cord vets, which there's nobody out in the field that's better to work with a veteran than another veteran.
That's right.
So really enjoyed that part of it. Took great interest in the medical manufacturing component, and started working on my own, building equipment specifically for veterans at home.
Okay.
Because they're not, a lot of them aren't geriatric, but all the manufacturers make it, for the geriatric community to cover that. So I was more. Sure. So I was going into the homes and realizing that a lot of our guys that were returning home, especially those with spinal cord injuries, amputees, things like that, 35 years old, 40 years old, and they're not geriatric.
Right.
Their mental mindset is they're independent. I want to get up. I want to go. But those mattresses that we're using on there, which are required to, for immersion and things like that, to reduce the amount of pressure for pressure injuries, or what most people know as bed sores,
Right.
is all the pumps and everything that they're into the beds. And do you remember being in a waterbed?
No. Oh, waterbed.
You ever been in a waterbed?
Had one of them in the 80s.
All right. Yeah. Do you remember trying to get out of it?
Absolutely.
Remember how hard it was?
Yes, sir.
All right, cut your legs off.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Okay, that's the reality of it.
Good picture.
Yeah, you've got to try to get out of it. So you need to increase the pressure. So I've been working on different mattresses throughout the years, and some of them with remote controls where they can auto firm it. And once you auto firm it, you can actually pivot on your hips and shoulders and things like that to help safely egress or transfer from bed to chair. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Nice. And so that career led you
Oh, man.
I'm looking to the
Yeah.
transition from down there to Florida.
Yep.
The vet pad and what you currently did down here.
So,
So how's that?
Yep,
transition?
we stayed in, we were in Dover, Tennessee for 14 years, just outside of Campbell. I did that job with the medical equipment company up there. I got offered a position down here in Florida. It was 14 years ago now.
Yeah.
So I moved down, yeah, it was 14 years. But anyway, I took over a medical equipment company here, a service disabled veteran owned small business, medical equipment distributor. Had 4 people under me. And it was, my job was to grow the business. And so did that for 13 years, but managed to go from 4 employees up to 54 by the time I left. We were responsible for the medical equipment contract for Vision 8. So every veteran that was getting medical equipment from pretty much Pensacola all the way over to Savannah, Georgia, down to West Palm, all the way down to Naples and everything in between. So every single veteran. We served probably around 2,000 veterans a month, 1,500 to 2,000 a month. And that's delivering beds to the homes, installing grab bars, things like that.
Always stayed serving veterans.
Yeah, I did.
You've been
I did.
veterans basically your entire life.
I did find that was a gift for me. One of the gifts is to be able to give back to them, and in ways that you can't imagine. Actually, you could. You've got outside the box thinking. Improvise, adapt, overcome was one of the biggest things took away from the military. I'm your MacGyver.
Yeah.
Duct tape, gum, bubble gum, paper clip, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever you can use to actually better the situation. And I mean, there's been times where, again, back to an amputee story, where I was installing grab bars into bathrooms and things like that. And it's not just installing grab bars. Anybody can install a grab bar, but can you see the situation? Can you assess the situation? Can you put yourself in that veteran's shoes? And can you make this, can you install those grab bars to where it changes his quality of life or her quality of life? And I've done that multiple times where it's all about where you mount him, where the transition points are, understanding that he's got, he's missing a left leg. So you want to stand on your right, balance on your left, and those are the things that you take away from it, and those are the places you can really truly make a difference in it.
Gotcha. Sounds very so. Currently, you're with the Florida Veterans Foundation.
Oh my gosh, yes. So,
right?
yep. So yeah, you're right. Long
How'd you walk
history.
into that door? And what is it that the foundation does?
So how did I walk into that door? I walked into that door because I was doing a DME contract.
Okay.
So I was not just running the DME contract, I was very involved. Something went on at a veteran's home where they couldn't figure it out or they needed additional help. I would be Johnny on the spot, jump in my truck, let's go, let's fix it right now. And when I was involved with that, I was going to the houses and I was realizing a lot of our veterans, we're a proud group, we usually don't like to ask for things very much, and we always put it on our own back. So a lot of our veterans at home, especially some of the older vets right now, is they want to be independent. Now, whether they have the means to be independent or not, a little different story. So, a lot of the veterans out there, you walk in and it's just unlivable sometimes. And it wasn't that they didn't want to clean it up. It was like they weren't able to. And they weren't aware of the programs that are out there right now, aid and attendance and things like that, and the resources that you do have. There's a lot of resources out there that veterans just aren't aware of.
True. Very true.
They're not educated on it.
Absolutely.
So the foundation, the foundation was that gap filler for me. So when I was going to a place, it wasn't just, okay, this is pretty bad, or this, I could see that you need this. And I would ask those questions to those veterans is how's the VA service going? Are you missing anything? Do you need anything? I was asked by the foundation if I wanted to be a member of their board and represent this area, which is Tampa Bay area. And I told them, yeah, of course. Because what that did was it gave me those resources, gave me that ammunition to where I could come back in and work with those veterans every day. So the foundation itself, sorry.
Oh, yeah, the foundation itself.
Yeah, the foundation itself. The foundation itself is kind of like compared to a sister company, but we work directly, fall under the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs, and we are the charitable portion. So we gather funds and donations, and we utilize that for veterans at home, veterans in crisis. And our motto is "No Florida Veteran Left Behind."
All sounds fantastic, Paul. You're a man of service, obviously, since the day you enrolled and enlisted into the Army.
Don't you cuss me.
So, one quick question: you do have children, right?
I do. My wife and I, again, 30 years.
Yeah.
We have a 26-year-old son, Hunter, a 22-year-old Isabella, and a 9-year-old Sophia.
9-year-old.
Oh yeah.
Gapped it, isn't it?
That was
gapped it.
Yeah.
That's obviously post-service.
Yeah, she wanted another one by the time she was 40. So
yeah, gotcha.
No, they're all beautiful, blessing, and it's just amazing to watch them grow up.
Awesome. Listen, Paul, you've been a wealth of knowledge. We appreciate you taking this time to share your story, share what you've learned through the military and what you've given back to the community. But we do have the last few seconds here. Take 1 minute if you can. Your family's going to be looking at this throughout the years. Okay?
Right.
If you had one piece of advice or some words just to share with them, go ahead and take this time if you want, or we can sit back and say, like Forrest Gump, that's all I got to say about that. But it's all you for the next 30 seconds.
Sure. I mean, yeah, everything in your life that you do is important. Every decision that you make is important. So continue to do what you do. I'm so proud of you. And it's life is short. Take advantage of it. Love it, because love you.
Awesome. Thanks again, Paul. Greatly appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
And look forward to continue working with you.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
All right.